Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is January the 20th, 2018. Strong hand. Buy and hold, baby. All right. Remember, check out the notes section below. I got the proper links down there today. You can get a Trezor, Ledger Nano, cryptohwwallet.com. I've got affiliate links, the T-shirts of Cryptography also. I want to tell everyone I've gotten all my tickets to go everywhere in the world that I'm going to go until I get back home for Passover in Baltimore in late March. So March the 7th, there's going to be an event in Johannesburg. And Lorian and I will be speaking there. So you'll get more information about that. There might be a very informal event in Johannesburg on March the 10th. There will be a March the 10th event also. So you're going to have two chances, March 7th and March the 10th. One's going to be a little bit more formal than the other. And then, of course, on March 8th and 9th in Johannesburg, it's the big blockchain event if you want to go to that. I will be there. I won't be speaking there. All right. I'm speaking all over the world. It has been fun. Lots of appearances. And of course, in Colorado, Boulder, Colorado on April 25th. I'll tell everyone more about all these as they become finalized. And we're going to talk about them later in the show. So let's talk about the Trezor as a kingmaker for altcoins. I thought about this during my run yesterday. Right now, Trezor makes it, you can store Ethereum and Ethereum Classic there, but the interface, you have to use a different interface. So it's not as simple. But still, that is good for Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. There are 6 coins, though, that you can store at Trezor using their easy interface. And this gives them an advantage. One of them is Bitcoin, obviously, but there are 5 other altcoins. And it places these altcoins on a different tier in terms of the top tier altcoins. And Ethereum and Ethereum Classic are probably there also. I'm not saying Ethereum is not a top tier altcoin. It is. But for this case, Zcash, Bcash, BGold, Dash, and Litecoin are also very easily accessible and storable on your Trezor. And Trezor is the best storage device out there. That's my opinion. Some people argue that the Ledger is, but I'm going with Trezor. I believe in the Trezor, and I'm not saying Ledger is bad. Ledger is bad, but if I had to make a choice, and people ask me all the time, pick the Trezor over the Ledger. Hey, but and that's not the point of this little talk here. The point is, though, and Ledger, you can only store certain altcoins on there also. So if you want to be an elite altcoin, these guys, especially Trezor, they are kingmakers. They are the gatekeepers, okay? So if you've got a fork, BGold has been, people knock BGold some, but it is an elite altcoin now because you can get it on the Trezor. You can store it on the Trezor. I think it's a little undervalued. I'm not giving any recommendations, but it's probably very undervalued. I think as it becomes more and more apparent how important holding is, and storage is, and easy storage is, I think BGold will probably go up in price. All of them will go up in price that you can easily store in your Trezor. So the point is if you're creating a fork or, a crypto dividend, if you're involved with the Be Private thing, you're going to get to elite status if you can somehow convince Trezor to keep you on there. And Be Private has Be Private really is Zcash in a way, and Bitcoin in a way. So it has an advantage. Be Private people, get your name out there. Market it hard. Put the pressure on Trezor. It makes sense for Trezor to store this thing if everybody wants this thing. If it has to become the biggest fork, though, of the ones that are still coming out. Ignoring Bcash and BGold, they've already come out. But that's something that Be Private people, and I know there are a lot of people excited about it, and I'm excited about Be Private because I want to get a lot of free Bitcoin from this fork. This is the one that I see in terms of pure for crypto dividends is the has the most upside. Again, the Brhodium is a crypto dividend that is in airdrops, and that's, you already signed up for that, and I'm excited about that one too. But again, the Be Private thing is totally different. And so there you go. There's your Adam talking about top tier altcoins. People ask me about top tier altcoins all the time. Well, there is a very good way of defining your top tier altcoins. Does Trezor store them? There you go. That's all I have to say about that. I consider it in one sentence. All right, and again, and that's the predicament we're in right now. If there were a million other storage devices out there, or at least 10 other, because there are a few other ones out there. But if there were like 10 other ones that were respected as much as the Trezor, then maybe the story would be different. Okay, and maybe they're going to be specialized storage devices that are going to store Monero. I talked about that. There's going to be one that stores Monero as a specialized storage device. Maybe a lot of those are going to come out. Who knows what the second half of 2018 or 2019 are going to bring to us? But the current situation with altcoins and which ones are elite or whatever, there's a good way of thinking about it. Okay, pound that like button. All right, check out the link section below, guys. This Week in Bitcoin was great with Andy Hoffman and Crypto Demichi. Everyone was expecting the great Tawanda Kembo of Zimbabwe to be on. There was a power outage in his country, and he could not make the show. I mean, that happens in those type of countries, whatever you may call those type of countries. Anyway, and I've been to those type of countries, and they are, they're not as, the Western countries are better, period. You go to one of those countries and tell me otherwise. So, but anyway, Tawanda is awesome. I will see Tawanda in South Africa. He's going to be there when I'm in Johannesburg, and he'll come. Hopefully, he'll come back on the show next week. We'll get him on the show. And again, I love the people of Zimbabwe. Their government made their country into a whole, and they know it, and the world knows it. So, but work hard, people of Zimbabwe, and people working hard can change any situation. Sometimes it takes a lot of sacrifice, though. And yeah, when I was in Harare, literally the streets, the sidewalks had not been fixed since about 1976 or 1980. I couldn't really tell what year. Those 2 years are key years in the transition from Rhodesia to Zimbabwe, though. And it was clear that Mugabe had never put any money into these sidewalks. It was unbelievable. Running on main streets where the streets are just falling apart. And again, it was worse in Mozambique. In Mozambique, they hadn't fixed the streets since 1975, some of the sidewalks. Okay. Now let's see, what else do we have here? So Alistair Milne has Adam Draper has a very good tweet. Oh, email me at adam@trezorhelp.com if you need a crypto consultation, need help setting up your Trezor. You've got some tips or whatever. And again, my cryptocurrency addresses are down below too. People ask about that sometimes. So here's a perspective tweet by Adam Draper. Bitcoin crossed in December. Bitcoin crossed $10,000, and everybody was cheering. In January, Bitcoin crossed $10,000, and everyone's going arg. So that's amazing. There were many YouTube people out there that were having celebratory videos about, oh, Bitcoin crossed 10,000. I tried to be somewhat laid back about it because it crossed 11,000 right afterwards, going up. But on the way down, a month later, oh, it's the worst thing that's ever happened. So keep some perspective, people. Think long term. 10,000 is great. And right now it's getting toward 13,000 again. It's people say it's the end of the world. It went below 10,000. Now it's at 13,000. Again, these weeks happen. They'll happen again. Get used to it. If you're a newbie, welcome to Bitcoin. If you're a somewhat oldie, you have no excuse for panicking if you panicked at all. Another tweet by Alistair Milne. What if I told you that there have only been 41 days where Bitcoin averaged a higher price than it is right now? And he actually posted that a couple days ago, but that still puts it in perspective. Only 41 days in the existence of mankind has Bitcoin been worth more than it is right now. So, I mean, it's doing pretty well. Think long-term, people. That's a long-term perspective right there. All right. Alistair Milne also reminds us Bitcoin blocks are no longer full. Fees are dropping dramatically. Okay, fudsters who like to say that fees are high and blocks are full, there you go. I mean, you can keep fudding, but there's the truth. All right, so what do we got here? There's another guy that says, oh, this guy talking about Binance. Binance is probably the fastest profitable startup to achieve unicorn status, private company with $1 billion plus valuation in history. Binance is valued at not 100 billion, but closer to 2 billion US dollars, and they did it in less than 6 months. Yes, you read it right, 6 months. And that to me is amazing. That is the incredible opportunity that is in the cryptocurrency exchange space. That you can create a company from scratch that is, and it is a company that's providing value and providing a service that everyone wants, and in less than 6 months is worth over $2 billion. So, hey, if you're in the super chat and have a question, I can't see you guys in the chat. You can do the super chat, and I will answer your questions. I'll see the colors pop up there. I know there's a lot of people right now. Here, we got over 100 live viewers. Pound that like button, everyone, on a Saturday night. You could be doing other things, but you're in the chat, and that's awesome. You're watching this show. I appreciate it. And here, where I am, it is the morning. It is 8. It's almost 9 in the morning here in lovely Taipei. And I'm going to meet with there's a guy who got in touch with me about Taipei. Maybe we'll have an informal event here soon. That would be great. I love these meetup type of events. I do love just meeting, and anyone in LA and or San Diego can say how much fun they are, and that I get a big kick out of doing them. And yeah, let's have one in Taipei. We're obviously going to have them in Johannesburg, and maybe in when I'm in Australia, in Darwin, Australia. And where else am I going to be? Yeah, value your wealth in Bitcoin, people. Hold that Bitcoin. I'm just lost my place here. Oh, here we go. And I forgot did I link to this or not? I think I skipped this. The links are below, but I might have forgot this Andreas video. It's great that he just did. Andreas Antonopoulos. He talks about what he says. It's a 5-minute video, so watch it. The wealth distribution FUD. How people say that it's unfair wealth distribution, and that only a few people control 95% of the Bitcoin, and he just nails it. Why that's not true. How there's a lot of small addresses out there, but a lot of people might have a lot of small addresses. So people, it's not bad at all. Go to his video. It's great the way he explains it. There is no wealth inequality in Bitcoin. And here, there's one comment underneath it sums it really up. It's by North Pole TV. And he says, meh, those complaints about Bitcoin wealth distribution you hear are from losers who didn't get in early enough and now can't afford a whole Bitcoin. So they whine about it, not understanding the high divisibility means that everyone can have a piece at the table if they want it. The fact is, they can stop their whining and buy whatever fraction of a Bitcoin they can afford right now. Buy instead. But instead, they'd rather bash because it's not them doing the winning. Yes, this is true, dude. If they stopped crying about it and just bought, they would be winning, should we say. They would be doing better. But hey, they like to complain. There's some people that just like to complain. And hey, what are you going to do? But I like that. I like that tweet. I mean, that comment. And I also like the video itself. So watch the video and you can read that comment below it. Okay. Yeah. St. Louis again. I'll be there. I keep mentioning St. Louis, April 13th to 15th. Maybe a little longer. I'll be there for, I'll be in Montevideo, Uruguay. There's a new one. I'll be there March the 13th. And I'll maybe go to Buenos Aires and Santiago also. I have people there that want me to visit, but I have distant relatives in Montevideo. A few of you, some people know that, and I'll be visiting them. We're going to go to Punta del Este when I'm down there in Montevideo, which is the Baltimore of South America, I say. Some people get that one. It's safer than Baltimore, but yeah, I'll be there March the 13th, and at least through the 20th in Uruguay, and hopefully see the others. So if you're in Uruguay, let's get together. But if you're in Buenos Aires, and I know there's a guy who wants me to come out there, let's work on it. But as many people know, I do not feel like paying Argentina that entry fee. the $161 entry fee, completely ridiculous on the part of Argentina, complete money grab. And I do understand why they do it, reciprocity, because the United States charges them, but they need American visitors a lot more than America needs Argentine visitors. Deal with it, people. If you want to argue that's not the case, then you don't understand. But I love the people. I love people in Argentina, and I want to go to Argentina. And the dude I was talking to said he would take care of that fee for me, so that would be great. But anyway, we'll have more about my South American tour, or just Uruguay tour, which is taking place on March the 13th. There's a new one for you. All right. Oh, yeah, there was in San Francisco, again, at the event, the disconnect to the world, the crypto world that we're familiar with was amazing. There were dudes that were like, who are important people on Twitter or on YouTube to follow? I don't know any of these people. I've never heard of World Crypto Network. I never heard of Tone Vase. I don't know who you are, Adam Meister. And so it's just, it's weird because, San Francisco is this amazing tech-centric part of this country, and we're in a different world than them. There's a lot of different crypto worlds out there. And I've said that before, but when it hits you in person, when you're in ICO land and they don't know what World Crypto Network is, or they don't know what Tone Vase is, it's a little odd. But we've got a little bias here toward ourselves. So, but I'm glad if you know who Tone is, you know who World Crypto is, if you know who I am, you're in good shape. You're in real good shape. You're in better shape than the people who didn't know who in San Francisco. Trust me on that one. All right. Johannesburg again. Oh, here's I'll skip this one for now. We'll talk about Antarctica next time. Ooh, pound that like button if you're curious. All right. We'll talk about that next time. Kim Dotcom. His what is this thing he is doing? Simon Dixon says, get ready for BitCash coming soon to the Lightning Network. Thanks to Kim Dotcom. Then get ready for the Bank to the Future BitCash pre-sale. All right, so this BitCash thing that Kim Dotcom's been talking about since before 2017, which was supposed to revolutionize 2017 for Bitcoin. Well, it's coming out in 2018 probably. It's a side chain of Bitcoin. Simon's talking about it. So there, you can check out Kim Dotcom's link below. You can check out Simon's link about it below. I checked out Kim Dotcom's link, and then I checked out the rest of his Twitter, and he's got a picture of his new wife like a million different times. He's valuing his wealth in terms of his female partner, which is a mistake. I hope he has a prenup. I'll leave it at that, because he's lost a lot of money before, which makes me think he might lose a lot of money again. And she might be the greatest woman in the world. Be careful out there, dudes. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Seriously. Yeah, again, This Week in Bitcoin, check it out below. I mentioned Tawanda and everything. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's a lesson in doom porn, as they call it, as I call it. Whatever happened to the Amero, people? Remember, you guys said the Amero was coming in 2007. We're talking 10-year-old doom porn. Oh, they're going to combine Canada, United States, and Mexico, and the dollar's going away, and oh, the dollar's going to zero, and this is the end of the financial world that we know about. And the Amero, we're going to be enslaved to the Amero. Oh no, it's already printed. The world is all over. I have to just worry about everything and not be productive in my life and just watch all these doom porn channels and just watch over and over and over again all these other Amero videos and leave comments about Amero everywhere. So it never came, guys. What happened? It's just like the Shemitah. You wasted your time worrying about complete nonsense. That's what happens every single time. But you forget about it conveniently. And you go on to another doom porn subject that you obsess about, and you never progress in your life. You hang around those type of people, you're never going to progress. If you listen to those type of people, you're never going to progress. You're never going to better yourself. Bitcoin, it takes initiative to buy it, okay? Bitcoin is, you don't sit around crying and worrying about some nonsense Shemitah. And if you go to events put on by people like that, then you're supporting this type of nonsense. So think twice before you hand doom porners that kind of any money at all and you give them any respect. Oh, just because they get 2 things right and 30 things wrong, okay? And the things they get wrong, they hurt people, seriously. People who got obsessed with that Monero stuff, they didn't, probably still poor. People who took initiative, who are proactive, who don't worry, who don't get obsessed with these things. They got into Bitcoin. They're doing quite well now. Trust me on that one. All right. So there's your little lesson of the day to get yourself in the correct mindset. All right. What a Saturday. Oh, so yeah, and we're approaching 13,000, which is great. And to put it in perspective, that we've basically gone up $3,000 since the low of a couple days ago. To put it in perspective, less than a half year ago, it was August of 2017, and Bitcoin hit $3,000 for the first time. So now it goes back. It could go back up to 3,000, hit 13,000. People are still, there's still people like, oh, it's horrible. It's 13,000. Put it in, again, strong hand. You should, and then some of you sold the 10,000. Now it's back at the 13,000. You shouldn't have been selling, you shouldn't have been playing games. You should have just been holding the entire time because Bitcoin's worth a heck of a lot. It's gone down a heck of a lot, still worth a heck of a lot. It'll go back up a heck of a lot because we've seen it before, and it's just a whole new world now. It's a whole new world compared to August. So what's it going to be like in August coming up? All right, pound that like button. That's the last time I'm saying that today. Saturday, I forgot to mention, I linked to this below, the Be Private pre-fork roadmap. I forgot to mention this on Thursday, excuse me. The Be Private pre-fork roadmap is out. That I linked to that tweet about that. That doesn't mean that much because we really want to know the fork date. That's going to make the big thing. Hey, but they're organized, okay? That's great. I also forgot to mention that B Gold was DDoSed attack when they sent their debut roadmap out there. When they debuted their roadmap, excuse me. And that just shows you that people are threatened by B Gold. They get DDoS attacked a lot. It's quite odd. I'd love to know who's doing that. Behind the scenes, the B Gold guys are, since it is somewhat centralized, more so than Bitcoin, definitely, they've got their act together. They're working on some things, and they are thinking. So that's a good sign for B Gold. I mean, again, I don't. If you haven't sold your B Gold yet, then you know what? I haven't sold most of my B Gold yet. So I think it's still going to go up. Obviously, by my actions, they clearly show that. But I have some confidence from seeing hearing some of the behind the scenes stuff from some of the dudes out there. All right, that's the end of the Bitcoin part of the show. I want to give a health tip, and it's about Tone Vays. Tone Vays. A lot of you guys make fun of Tone Vays for losing his hair. Okay, it's normal for guys his age to lose their hair. Many of you making fun of Tone Vays have lost your hair and are just wimps and hide behind a computer. And you'll never have the guts to be on camera like Tone Vays is. In my opinion, Tone Vays' hair is fine. Okay, we all lose our hair eventually. Be a man about it and realize it's going to happen to you, dude. Unless you have a testosterone problem, which is worse than losing your hair. Okay, if you have low testosterone. So Tone Vays has a New Year's resolution. I don't know if this is a joke or not, but a lot of people, and I hope it is. I hope it is a joke. He says he wants to regrow some of his hair. And people are encouraging him to regrow some of his hair. If he wants to try natural things and none of them are proven, then go ahead, But there is a drug out there called Propecia, and it's based around the drug finasteride. This makes your body think you're an hermaphrodite. Okay, it confuses your body. It messes with your testosterone. Now, some guys, it doesn't have an effect on. It does stop them from losing their hair. Usually if they're under 30, I believe, it works better. But, and I know someone this has happened to, I'm pretty sure it happened to this person at least. I have someone that I know who has a very low testosterone suddenly, and he took that stuff, okay? And his hair did stop falling out. And I think he probably regrew some of his hair. It is very dangerous. If you Google that finasteride stuff, if you Google it, you will hear horror stories about men who stopped losing their hair, who are depressed, who want to kill themselves, who don't even care about their hair loss, who don't care about women anymore, who have no drive, sex drive. It has made them, it has given them the mentality of not a man anymore. To have low testosterone is horrible. It's a horrible, horrible thing. And many people are suffering through this now. So this drug can bring you to that level, to like a 200 level of an 85-year-old man, okay? So there's your health tip of the day. Tone-based, do not use finasteride. And its brand name, again, is Propecia, right? And anyone listening to this, any man listening to this, please do. Again, this is just like using a statin drug. They talk about all the benefits of. You don't need statins. You do not need finasteride. You do not need this stuff. Just bear with it. Don't value your right. If you think you're never going to get a woman because you lost your hair early, you don't value your wealth that way, people. You will. If you really want to, you'll get one. Don't worry. Get some money. They only most of them only care about money. All right. So, and you might have to be patient and wait till you're 35 or whatever, and you'll just buy one because, again, in the end of the day, many of them succumb they want a better life or whatever. They don't care what you look like when they themselves, especially, get to be about over 35 or whatever. And that's just life. I know it sounds brutal. I can say brutal things like that. Deal with it. I have a lot of Bitcoin. I work for myself. That's what you get. Have a lot of Bitcoin. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. And again, most important, take care of your health. Don't get on any of these drugs. There are natural ways to attempt to do things. There are real, in terms of curing or stopping hair loss, I can't recommend a natural way. And just eat healthy. I don't know. It's genetics, people. There are a lot of guys. It's just I knew a guy in high school with a blonde hair guy. He says he started losing his hair at 16, and hey, we got to deal with there's some things that are unfortunate in life. At least it's not a sickness. It's things could be a lot worse, people. And again, for the guys hiding behind cameras who are bald and make fun of Tone Days, you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace to men. You really are. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Do check out the notes section below. I'll say hello to you guys in the chat. Bye-bye.